DJ Hurricane and rap. It's
It's the mayor. Welcome to Showface. Snooze, we call me what you want. Just don't call me. You're now rocking with the town favorite. Showface Snooze, this big Gotham, the real New York mayor, F.A. Adams. And guess what? All the way from Flushing, Queens, we got the one and only Sue Young. Stop playing. Come on, gang. It's word to Sue Young. Push the goddamn button. You dig? Listen, man. 50 Cent is really taking things to other places right now. 50 Cent is on a very savage, petty campaign, right? He's now making it seem as though that Rick Ross is equal to Puff, champ. All right? This is what he's posting on his Instagram, right? Of course, you know, he's supposedly working on this so-called Diddy documentary. I honestly don't know how true the Diddy documentary thing is, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's actually working on one or he's trying to do one to be funny. I have no idea. Who knows? You know? But he also posted this, champs. And these are the lyrics to Rick Ross's song, or Rick Ross's verse on the song You Don't Even Know It. All right? Now, if you remember from way back when, this happened in like 2012, maybe 2013. It's a while ago, almost a whole decade ago. If you remember, Rick Ross lost a Reebok deal based upon these exact lyrics. Okay? Putting Molly in her champagne. She ain't even know it, took her home, and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. Those lyrics resulted in Ricky Rose, losing that Reebok deal, champ. They wasn't jacking the lyrics. Sounded crazy. Okay. 50 Cent also posted this very suspect photo of Ross and Puff very much cuddled together in the club or VIP section, wherever they may have been at this here function, champ. Okay. He is putting Rick Ross and Puff in the same category, champ. All right, knowing that him and 50 are having, you know, a beef right now about numbers because he was making fun of Ross and Meek doing like 31,000 first week, whatever the case may be. All right, so there's an ongoing beef with Ross and of course 50 for obvious reasons. You know, he was beefing with him since probably like what the Fat Joe era, when him and Fat Joe was still beefing. You know, Ross and Fat Joe was cool. Everything ties down back to that. All right. So when it comes to 50 Cent and his beefs, he's going to another level with it. All right. He's trying to make it seem like Rick Ross is also involved with what Puff is being accused of. Okay. Yeah, in my personal opinion, this might be taking it too far, but hey, it is what it is. If you're ops, you're ops. Nothing you can do about that. But what I am going to say is this, champs. What I'm going to say is that, you know, Rick Ross being around Puff and Rick Ross probably not going against Puff is probably going to make, you know, certain individuals maybe look at him sideways, or he may take some type of scrutiny for that because there's a lot of, you know, bad things happening in Puff's way right now. You know, a lot of people do not like Puff, and the dislike in the air is on Puff, okay? He's literally the enemy right now. There's always a public enemy. Right now, the public enemy is Puff at this moment. So if you're friends with the public enemy, best believe you're going to catch scrutiny. Best believe people are going to start painting the narrative that you, sir, might have been, you know, involved in the alleged claims with Puff. You know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together is what they say. Well, you have people, Puff, Pierre, who was a former president of Bad Boy, just got accused of gang raping. Crazy enough, Puff and Pierre, these are both multiple crimes because Pierre already got accused by someone else already. He's getting accused again. This is his second time being accused of doing something. This is Puff's fourth time being accused of doing something. So it's getting crazy right now. Again, I would hate to be, somebody close to Puff, because again, if you don't speak down on him, chances are they're gonna say you're defending him, which means you might as well be involved with it. You dig? That's what I'm saying. But right now, I'm looking too high for Puff. Rick Ross, if they put the narrative on you, champ, they could always backtrack to those lyrics right there and say that you are definitely down with whatever Puff is allegedly, I said allegedly, doing. Okay? Because I don't know anything, neither do y'all. Okay? Only person who knows this is true for sure is Puff and alleged victims. Okay? Now, the difference between this fourth accuser and the other accusers is that this accuser had pictures. This accuser had pictures showing the night that alleged attack happened. Okay? Now, the wild thing about this accuser is this accuser admitted to doing a consensual act with Harv Pierre before they went on the private jet to Diddy's studio. All right? That's what I can say. But as far as the alleged crime, who knows, man? Who knows? There's no telling. All I know is that it's looking more Cosby-like for Puff than anything. It's a little more Cosby-like. There's going to be a lot more coming out. Again, we have never seen in history a bunch of melanated women come out and accuse somebody of doing something. This would be the first, especially of this magnitude, okay? This would definitely be the first, especially of this magnitude, okay? Now, 50 Cent is doing the ultimate violation on Rick Ross by trying to paint him as an alleged predator, man. I ain't gonna lie. Painting a man as an alleged predator is insane, but hey, this is what come with it. Now, I don't know if y'all seen the first video that Rick Ross did in response to 50 Cent talking about album sales, but when Rick Ross responded, he said, yeah, they're trying to trick you out your position, which means he would be, allegedly trying to get 50 Cent put on the moon, allegedly, champ. He's trying to get me out of position. If somebody says get out of position, I mean, you're trying to get me to do something very crazy to you. Okay, allegedly, when you say those things. So I was peeping the dialogue, the back and forth of what people were saying. But I'm sure because of certain words that Ross used, 50 Cent is now daring Ross to try something by saying, well, champ, I'm going to paint the narrative that you are also a predator, much like your good friend Diddy. How about that, champ? You dig? Because when it comes to 50 Cent, he's not letting up. He's going to keep going. All right? He's going to keep going. And if there's other ops involved, well, I guess y'all gonna get a special deluxe pack. Pause. Because Fifth ain't letting up at all. All right, and he's taking it. He's taking it very far. The guy's a menace. That's why Rose said they trying to trick you out of position. Yeah, Champ is willing to go the extra mile. He's willing to go the extra mile. But this is wild though. This is wild for somebody to put this on you and act like you were part of the mix. It's wild. Don't be surprised if 50 Cent is the reason why Ross ends up magically getting canceled. Don't be surprised. All it takes is one person to paint a narrative, champ. Especially a likable person. It's like wrestling right now. The heel is Diddy and the face is 50. You feel what I'm saying? Obviously, the people are gonna side with 50 over Diddy. Why? Because 50 doesn't have these claims on his jacket. Diddy, he's always been hated. People don't like him already, so people are gonna go with who seems to be the good guy right now, and the good guy seems to be 50 Cent. Okay, so again, he has the control and the power to push a narrative that can ultimately affect the career of Rick Ross and the legacy of Rick Ross. I mean, he did it to Ja Rule. Why can't he do it to Rick Ross? You understand what I'm saying? He pushes a narrative on Ja Rule's career for the masses to see, and the masses follow that narrative. And guess what? Somebody's career just went in the toilet. Now, as far as 50 Cent, he does have control right now on social media to possibly push a nasty narrative on Ross that can ultimately damage Ross's legacy and career. These are facts. Okay? Just saying. He said Diddy got the Letterman group jacket too. What's the Letterman group jacket? But what I'm saying is this. Rick Ross and 50 might just be doing a nasty back and forth that's probably not going to end anytime soon, especially with these Diddy allegations. If I'm Rick Ross, I'm probably going to fall back from this situation and don't even respond, because the more you respond, the worse it can probably get, the more narratives that can be spun. So I would stay away from any other possible narratives that can come out of this, because again, all it takes is one strong narrative that don't gotta be true at all, and it can definitely do its damage, champ. All right. Like, there's a narrative that Tommy Hilfiger said that he don't like black people, which is also false. It's a very false, statement. He never said that, and what happens is people be like, I don't wear Tommy Hilfiger, even though people wear Tommy Hilfiger, but Tommy Hilfiger never said he didn't like black people. He said black people are the biggest consumers of his brand. That's what he said. And people spun that into, oh yeah, he said he don't like black people. That's how narratives start. One person start lying, and everybody start believing it. That's a narrative. Narratives just started that way. You dig? I can't read that comment because, okay, I see what you meant. Letterman group. I see you. Okay. Salute. But what I was saying was this. It takes one narrative to be spun as a fact for it to do damage, bro. 50 Cent already did it to Ja Rule. Why he can't do it to Rick Ross? Rick Ross could also, suffer some type of damage if, people start believing that he might be a predator. That's all you got to do, champ. Just put it in the air. You don't even got to have a victim. Just put it in the air that the man is a predator, and that's just going to be the narrative. And once it's a narrative, it damn near becomes a law, as if you actually did something. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how the game is. A nasty, it's a dirty game, but don't fall victim into ending up, having those narratives put on your name, because 50 could definitely do it and probably would do it, because he don't rock with Ross nor Puff. All right? 50 and Ross been ops for a very long time. In fact, you remember when he got sued in court because he aired out Rick Ross's baby mother's X-rated tape, okay? I believe he put that on World Star. He literally went and did commentary on his baby mother's tape, which is crazy. However he got a hold of that, insane. Yeah, man. The Molly and the champagne wasn't a good option. The Molly and the champagne, I did what I took her home, did what I did, and she didn't even know it, was insane. Why in the world would you say you took her home and enjoyed that, and she didn't even know it? Is nasty work. That's how you lost your Reebok deal. I'm surprised the only deal you lost was the Reebok deal, but I guess back then, society wasn't as soft, I guess, back then. Okay? Society wasn't as soft back then. Nowadays, you say something like that, you're going to get canceled immediately, okay? Now, some of those Gen Z kids might have missed the whole "you don't even know it" thing. That song, "You Don't Even Know It." I believe that's what's his name song. Not Future, but what's his name? The person who brought Future in. I can't. Rocco. That's Rocco's song. So Rocco, that's his song. You don't even know it. That's Rocco's song, and it had remixes and whatnot. But on the original song, Rick Ross was on it. Yeah, it's wild. Shouldn't have made that choice of lyrics. Not gonna hold you. Shouldn't have made those choice lyrics, champ. That wasn't the best option for you, gang. Yeah, Rocco. Yes, yeah. That was Rocco's record, but Champ, this is getting ugly. I don't know. I don't think 50's actually making a Diddy documentary per se. I think he's just literally trolling the man on purpose. You know, he's kind of having fun with every time something happens with Diddy. He's making fun of it. You know, yeah. That song was made literally 10+ years ago. You know, but still to this day, champ, they remember your lyrics. All right, and I don't think Ross ever jumped in on the whole Puff situation. I don't think anyone's gonna try to jump on the Puff situation to jeopardize what they got going on. Okay, I don't think nobody's about to step up and defend Puff because ain't nobody did it yet. His sons didn't do it. Nobody stepped up to defend Puff yet. All you see is a bunch of people trying to put him down. I don't see nobody jumping in to try to save this man. Why? Because they not trying to lose out on no brand deals by defending this man. Because in the eyes of society, they're going to say you're defending a predator. Even though there's absolutely no proof that the man is a predator, in the eyes of society, you're going to be defending a predator, which automatically is going to make you, make people not rock with you. You know what I'm saying? It's automatically gonna make people not rock with you. Shit. Mega Bill says Bad Boy Honest got some wild balls about age 2. I remember G-Dep had a bar. Too young is a dude. China. Black Rob has some too. It was a different timing in the 90s. That's because in the 90s, you had to say something messed up for it to be fired. You dig what I'm saying? In the 90s, you had to say something crazy for it to be fired. That's why they had, Biggie saying crazy things. Big L said crazy things. Nas said crazy things. You know what I'm saying? Big L had a song called Devil's Son. Yeah, back then, if you said the most twisted thing, it was considered fire. That's how the 90s was. That was that era. Then you got the mixtape era where, it was all about punchlines. Who had the best punchlines on the mixtape? Who's the best lyricist on the mixtapes? You know what I'm saying? It's all different type of times. Nowadays, what is it about nowadays is the question. Mega Bill says like Wu-Tang with the Oblivious Thoughts skit. Yeah, exactly. That's how they was in the 90s. That was a 90s thing. Who could say the most twisted thing on the record? That was fire. It was fire to them back then. That was almost like having the top punchline was having the most disgraceful type of lyric. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's crazy how times change. But nowadays, you think Rick Ross's "You Don't Even Know It" verse would hit in the 90s? Is my question now, because we didn't talk about twisted lyrics. You think that Rick Ross's "You Don't Even Know" verse would have hit in the 90s when they encouraged disgraceful lyrics like that? You know what I'm saying? He says, you got me laughing remembering some of those crazy skits. Yeah, they don't do skits no more. Skits is a thing of the past. I ain't heard a skit in a long time, actually, as far as the new rap is concerned. I ain't really hearing no skits like that. Unless it's somebody's album who's known for making pure hip-hop music. But do y'all think Rick Ross's "You Don't Even Know" verse would have hit in the 90s, though? Nowadays, it's not cool. Back then, would it have been cool to say? Alleged date grape lyrics, allegedly. The West Coast had crazy skits as well. Yeah, I know, champ. But having a ball about doing graping, a graping ball, a ball about date grape, those kind of balls, that's unheard of. It's kind of sick. That's a twisted thing to do, champ. Having a ball about doing that is kind of wild. BBD said in a hit single backstage underage, Shorty wanted to do me. It was all on Front Street. Oh man. Yeah, Ross was bugging. Yeah, Ross was wilding, man. Ross was wilding. What's gonna happen with Diddy? What's gonna happen with 50 and Ross? Actually, is my main question. What's gonna happen with 50 and Ross? Cause 50 and Ross is going crazy. If I'm Rick Ross, I'm not even responding. Like, honestly, don't respond, bro. Don't try to defend the lyric, champ. It don't make sense. Now is not a good time to even defend that lyric because nobody was even thinking about it till 50 brought it up. Nobody was thinking about it till 50 brought it up. If I'm you, I'm not even gonna respond or try to clarify or try to make the ball make sense. Okay? Don't even try to make it make sense. Don't clap back. Don't do anything. We heard what we heard. Everybody heard what you said, champ. There's absolutely no need. Leave it alone. If you did not do anything wrong, anything heinous, anything that Diddy's being accused of, I would step back. Don't even put yourself in the same category. Because 50 is ready to do that. 50 is ready to put you in the same category as Puff and say that you're both predators, champ. If I was you, I'd stay far away from that. You don't want that narrative on your head. You dig? You don't want that narrative on your head. It can only get worse. Leave it alone. This is literally a trap. It's bait. You should know this already. You know it's a trap, champ. It's literally a trap. He's trying to set you up for the okie doke. Don't do it. You think? But yeah, it's wild right now, champs. It is wild. It is insane. It ain't no telling what's next at this point, man. Ain't no telling. We getting new news every other hour. A lot of things are going on. All right? Crip Mac just got locked up by the feds. The feds just locked up Crip Mac. Crip Mac probably ended up doing 4 to 5 for having a burner and not turning himself in because he was supposed to turn himself in 2 weeks ago. Did not do that. So no jumper loses one of their hottest commodities. You dig? Yo, so did you hear the whispers about Jay being brought in this circus? I've heard of it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if it does, it does. Hove being brought into it would make things incredibly interesting. Bringing Hove into it would make it incredibly interesting. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. We got all the time in the world. Things could happen right now. Things could happen within the next hour. Things could happen tomorrow. It don't matter. Things is gonna happen, and it's gonna take place. You think so? We're gonna see what happens, though. Who knows? Who knows who's gonna get brought into it next? All I know is Ross might want to fall back from the fifth because he's about to use something real nasty against him that he's not ready to fight back with. Okay? And that's what I'm gonna say. I remember when he first got in trouble for using the lyric, and he tried to defend the lyric like it didn't mean what y'all thought it meant. Well, champ, what is it supposed to mean if it is not what we thought it meant? Mega Bill says everybody who was lit at the time seems to have hella skeletons. Hey man, there's a lot that goes on in the entertainment world. So I can honestly say to you, champ, there's a lot that goes on in the entertainment world. But the thing about this is, when you involved with someone who has these new allegations on them, it's gonna make you look crazy if you defend it because of how high of a magnitude this is and how many people are currently against him right now. It's like the entire world is against Puff right now. So for anybody to jump in and try to defend would not be the best thing to do right now. That's why nobody's jumping in. That's the main reason nobody's jumping in. They ain't trying to get canceled as well. You know, they ain't trying to do all that. This is a battle he got to fight on his own. Don't nobody care about a grown man and what a grown man is going through at all. He gonna have to fight this on his lonely with his lawyers. So best he can do. He says he's gonna actually take people to court now. He's not paying out of pocket no more now. As far as Cassie is concerned, what Cassie got with the money. The money didn't come out of Diddy's pocket. It came out the label. It came out of the business. That was a business money she got. They said she filed for the lawsuit as an employee, so the money never came out of Diddy's pocket. The money came from the record label. Because Cassie was also a singer who signed a Bad Boy. Okay? She sued as an employee. So she didn't get direct money from Puff's pockets. It came out of his business. Mega Bill says the statement made it worse. How you say you will fight for your name after you settled? Settling is not fighting at all, and it still stained his name. Yeah. And his name continues to be stained because there's more stains on the way. Like today's stain. There's even more stains that are coming real soon, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. There's a lot going on. Alright? There's a whole lot happening. We're gonna see what it's hitting for though. But right now it's looking awfully bad for Puff. And Rick Ross, if I was you, I wouldn't even respond back to Fifth because he's about to take it in a different direction that could do some damage to your champ. It could do some damage. So I would chill. He's trying to resurface some real nasty things, champ, that could ultimately be your demise in some way, shape, or form. That's all I could say, champ. That's all I could say. But if you hit the like button, make sure you share the video, champ. It's the mayor, the one and only Real New York Mayor F. Eric Adams. And you rocking with the town favorite, Showface News. It's Big Gotham. It's the town versus everybody at all times. But guess what? I have a public service announcement for y'all right now. And that public service announcement is to stop playing. So please, stop playing. We got more content in store. Stay tuned for more. Let's get it.